All right, so I'm a little bit confused about what just happened. Um, so I'm guessing they did the lake thing without they just didn't show it. Um, and so I guess everything is. I mean, it's still, only the middle of Act 3, so there's still half of an Act 3 and an Act 4, so obviously there's still more going on. So I don't know what else they messed with, if anything, and what else is going on. I mean, it's confusing. Like, I mean, I feel like they should have done it backwards. They should have done the second task first and then the first task, because what confuses me is like they did the first task and then they returned to the same timeline that they were in, but there should have been, if they just made adjustments to the first task and not the second task, wouldn't there have been a completely different timeline? I mean, I know that this is getting like even more confusing and stuff, but I feel like it should have been the other way around, but whatever. So let's find out what happens next. Act 3, Scene 10. Hogwarts, Headmistress's office. Draco, Ginny, and Harry stand behind a contrite-looking Scorpius and Albus. Professor McGonagall is fuming. Professor McGonagall, so to be clear, you illegally jumped off the Hogwarts Express, you invaded and stole from the Ministry of Magic, you took it upon yourself to change time, whereupon you disappeared 2 people. Albus, I agree it doesn't sound good. Professor McGonagall, and your response to disappearing Hugo and Rose Granger Weasley was to go back in time again, and this time instead of losing 2 people, you lost a huge number of people and killed your father, and in doing so you resurrected the worst wizard in the world, the worst wizard the world has ever known, and heralded in a new age of dark magic. Dry. You're correct, Mr. Potter. It doesn't sound good, does it? Are you aware how stupid you've been? Scorpius. Yes, Professor. Albus hesitates a moment. He looks at Harry. Albus. Yes. Harry. Professor, if I may. Professor McGonagall. You may not. What you choose to do as parents is your matter, but this is my school and these are my students, and I will choose what punishment they will face. Draco. Seems fair. Harry looks at Ginny, who shakes her head. Professor McGonagall. I should expel you, but, with a look to Harry, all things considered, I think it might be safer for you to remain in my care. You are in detention for... Well, you can consider yourself in detention for the rest of the year. Christmas is canceled for you. You can forget visiting Hogsmeade ever again, and that's just the start. Oh, God. Suddenly, Hermione bursts in, all action and resolve. Hermione, what did I miss? Professor McGonagall, fierce. It is considered polite to knock when entering a room, Hermione Granger. Maybe you missed that. Is she still Minister of Magic? Or did that... I mean, because, it seems like that they mostly reset the timeline, but there still could have been things that are different. So, I don't know. I don't see McGonagall talking to her that way. I don't know, but, well, let's see. Hermione realizes she's overstepped. Hermione, Professor McGonagall, if I could also give attention to you, Minister... Oh, she is, okay. If I could also give attention to you, Minister, I would. Keeping hold of a time turner of all the stupid things. Hermione, in my defense, Professor McGonagall, and in a bookcase. You kept it in a bookcase. It's almost laughable. Hermione, Minerva. There's an intake of breath. Professor McGonagall. Professor McGonagall, your children didn't exist. Hermione has no reply to that. This happened in my school under my watch. After all that Dumbledore did, I couldn't live with myself. Hermione, I know. Professor McGonagall composes herself for a moment. Your intentions to save Cedric were honorable, if misguided, and it does sound as if you were brave, Scorpius, and you, Albus, but the lesson even your father sometimes failed to heed is that bravery doesn't forgive stupidity. Always think. Think what's possible. A world controlled by Voldemort is, Scorpius, a horrific world. Professor McGonagall, you are so young. She looks at Harry, Draco, Ginny, and Hermione. You're all so young. You have no idea how dark the Wizarding Wars got. You were reckless with the world. Some people, some very dear friends of mine and yours, sacrificed a huge amount to create and sustain. Albus, yes, Professor. Scorpius, yes, Professor. Professor McGonagall. Go on, get out, the lot of you, and find me that time turner. Oh yeah, so that's the conflict, so we don't know what happened to it. So, Scorpius went back to the lake and fixed the lake problem. And what was it stolen there? Did he return without it, or did he just lose it in the lake in the present? Was it lost in the present or in the past? So, alright, so the time turner's lost, so it could fall into bad hands. This is exhausting. Who can still go and reset things for the worse, I guess. Alrighty.